Hey everybody, today I'm going to share with you 8 tips for assembling your SawStop Contractor table saw. My name is James and this is Homestyle Woodcrafts. Tip number 1, look through the packaging thoroughly because SawStop provides tools for assembly and adjustment, like this one for adjusting the rip fence, which I didn't find until after I was all done. Tip number 2, there's a few things you need to think about in the beginning that you're going to need in the end. So first of all, you need a heavy-duty extension cord. The owner's manual will help you figure out what gauge to get. I didn't think about this until after I had assembled the saw, and then I had to order it and wait for it. Anyway, better to have it ready in the beginning. You're going to need an electrical circuit with a 20 amp breaker, and you're going to have some idea about how you're going to manage dust. Tip number 3, use the instructions. Use all of the instructions. So the table saw comes with a color-coded poster that's color-coded to the hardware pack, and they're in order together. These instructions are awesome. The table saw also comes with a full set of instructions in the owner's manual. Use these together. Let me show you why. When I was setting up the rip fence, I was reading the instructions about how to properly gap this pad to the edge of the table saw. I was reading in the instruction manual and it said to gap it to 1/32 of an inch. I was using a tape measure that only measured to 1/16 of an inch, and it was kind of a hassle. Then I happened to read the poster and it said you can gap it with a credit card, which was so much easier. Anyway, you'll just find that sometimes the information is presented a little differently depending on which one you're looking at, and it can be helpful to look at both. Tip number 4. You're going to be working with instructions, parts, tools. There's going to be a lot of stuff. I found it really handy to work from a table instead of the floor, especially at the beginning. So I used a table and another work bench, one for parts and assembly and the other for my tools. Tip number 5, get somebody to help you out. The owner's manual says that as I have assembled my saw, it's about 310 pounds. One of the things I love about this saw is that the parts are so heavy duty. They're made of a heavy stamped steel. The tabletop is cast iron. It's really awesome. But that means some of the parts can be unwieldy and awkward to manage. So get some help and save your back. Tip number 6, pay attention to the difference between brackets E and F. They can be sneaky. I managed to mix brackets E and F up, and the stand seemed to go together just fine. But then when I went to put on the mobile base, I started having a lot of trouble. When I finally figured out what I had done, I reassembled the base, and then the mobile base went on a lot easier. So watch out for E and F. Tip number 7, use their customer service. When I unpacked my saw, I found that one of the stamped metal wings was warped along one edge. I wasted some time getting to their customer service, but once I did, they were great. Within a day, they had shipped me a new part. I give them 5 stars for great customer service. So don't hesitate to give them a call. And tip number 8, once you have your saw all assembled, give it a good test run. Make sure it cuts square. I didn't do this, and I got into the middle of my next project and found out it wasn't cutting square. So I wasted a lot of time figuring out what the problem was. I ended up needing to make a very minor adjustment to the miter gauge, and then it's been great since then. But would have preferred to do that before I got into the middle of my project. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. And we'll see you next time.